Yes, Granny. Well, dear, there seems to be such a misunderstanding of literacy as we get older. You mean like with reading, Granny? Yes, definitely with reading. I mean, as people get older, they just seem to give it away so readily. I think it has a lot to do with the TV couch potato syndrome. You know, lying back, watching television, pretty easy to get addicted to that. Yes, well, maybe it is, but the thing is that if you lose your reading ability, that's a greater loss, isn't it? I mean, it's a big loss, a huge loss, because you're losing a lot of your cognitive function if you stop reading. I mean, television doesn't give you that. It certainly doesn't. I got addicted to Netflix last summer, 3 months solid, and at the end of it, I was quite shocked. I couldn't read a book. I could hardly read a magazine article. All my concentration and focus just seemed to vanish into thin air. You know, I got quite a scare and I gave it up. I just gave it up instantly after that because I knew that I couldn't continue with it. I definitely was addicted. Oh, well, good girl. So you pulled yourself out just in time and you had the willpower to do that. But it seems that not everyone has that ability. No, and I think especially if you're at home with your partner, all comfy and cozy by the fire, and you're both into television and Netflix, very difficult to break the habit. Right, well, I'm so pleased that I never got into the habit because reading is a wonderful thing for me. And I think that as we get dementia, more and more of us are getting this particular problem. Reading is the huge help for us because it keeps our cognition and thinking and intellectual functioning going, and it fills in the day. It's constructive, it's interesting, you learn a lot, you keep in touch with the world. I mean, there's so many benefits that you don't get if unless you read. And so I just advise anyone that has dementia or doesn't have dementia, I mean, you might get it at one point. I mean, even if you haven't got it, it keeps you alert, alive and active, just reading interesting books. And there's wonderful libraries we can go to here in New Zealand. We don't have to pay a thing, which is amazing. I don't know if it's like that in other places in the world, but we're very fortunate here. And I think to take advantage of that because, all these bright, brilliant minds that we can read about in the books, and then that gets transferred to us. We're getting the very best of the greatest. I can't see how anyone would not want to do that. Yeah, well, it's a lifestyle thing, Granny. I mean, you're used to reading. You've always been into it. You've gained a lot from it. That's why you've kept so sprightly, active and alert. But not everyone is sort of into that mindset. Oh, well, I hope they do get into it because it helps us enormously at a place like this.